Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the defects in tablets. Okay, during manufacturing, there are a number of defects and how these defects are caused and how we are going to overcome these defects. We are going to see. So after this class, we at the end you should be able to define what are the defects in tablets, what are the various types of defects, what are the defects related to tablet processing, and what are the remedies to overcome the tablet defects during processing or during manufacturing or during formulation. So to understand the defects, we have to understand what are the causes of these defects first, and then we can able to overcome the defects by due to number of uh, remedies we can overcome. So introduction, the tablet can come, defects can come from any of the unit operation and from the tablet press, means during manufacture also or during the tablet press or during the process of the tablet press. And industrial pharmacies usually or the manufacturer encounters number of problems during manufacture. So we can broadly classify the defects into two types, that is visual defects. So we can identify these defects by seeing the tablet, that is due to the inadequate fines or inadequate moisture in the tablet. And these are the surface defects. Usually when we can observe the or they see the tablet, these defects are easily identified or we can define the defects. Another type of defects is functional defects, that is due to the faulty formulation, due to the inadequate of binding agents or inadequate lubricants. So due to the formulation, and during formulation, these are the insufficient or more amount. So these functional defects can arise in the tablet manufacturing. So, the tablet processing problems can be due to formulation, as we have seen, and also as due to the equipment related or both of them. Okay, so during formulation, what happens? The defects can be classified. So there are a number of defects due to formulation. Means any of the you know the tablet is manufactured by using the API plus excipients, and due to the inadequate or more or less amount of these excipients, so this defect arises. That's why we call it as a functional defects. That is due to these are the capping. Second one is lamination, cracking, chipping, sticking, picking, and binding. So these are related to formulation related. The defects related to more than one factor. So formulation related factor also, as well as due to the machine related problem, that is moting. And defect due to the problem arises due to only due to the tablet press or due to the machine, that is double impression. Okay, so one by one we are going to see what are these defects. We will define them, and we will also see the what are the causes of these defects and what are the remedies how to overcome these defects. So first one is formulation related, that is capping. It is a very usual name, capping. So in this, what happens, the upper or lower segment of tablet separates horizontally, partially or completely from the main body. You can see in the diagram, lower part or upper part of the tablet removes from the main body and comes off as a cap. That's why it's called as capping. What are the causes of this during formulation? What happens? Large amount of fines, high moisture, and too dry. This is the formulation. And due to machine, what happens? Poorly finished dies, deep concave punches, and lower punch remains below the face of the die during ejection. So these are the causes. How to overcome these problems? Large amount of fines, you can remove the fines. High moisture, dry the granules. Too dry granule, moisten the granules suitably by the addition of some hydroscopic substance, that is water or whatever the solvent you are going to use. Polish the dies properly and use flat punches and make proper setting of the lower punch during ejection. That is, timing of the upper punch and lower punch is important during ejection of the tablet. So that can be done, and that can be overcome. We can overcome by capping. Second is lamination. It is same, but what happens here? You can observe the tablet in two or more distinct horizontal layers. Their capping was only once, that is upper or lower segment. Here, out upper, lower, middle, there are more than two or more distinct layers. So, formulation related waxy or oily material is there. So, too much of hydrophobic lubricants are there. So machine rated rapid relaxation of the punches or dies and rapid decomposition of these. So what happens, modify the mixing processes, use a less amount of lubricant or changes the type of lubricant whatever you are using in the formulation, use tapered dies and use pre-compressed steps. Third one is cracking. Small fine cracks are observed on the upper or lower or center surface of the tablet. You can see the cracks on the tablet. There are some diagram you can observe, see the cracks occur, and or very rarely on the side wall of the tablet, that is referred as a cracks. Why this cracks causes large size of granules. So uniformity of the granule is very important. You can see in all the three processes like cracking, lamination, and capping. So granule size is very important. Two fine granules, two large granules. Understood? Is nothing but due to the we are not using the proper size of the granules. Too dry granules and granules too cold. So machine expands on the ejection, sorry, tablet expands on the ejection due to air entrapment. Understood? So deep concavities causes cracking while removing the tablet. Reduce the granule size, add fines. So you can also go to the size separation, and you can also use the granules of a uniform size or uniform range of size. So size separation can avoid some major defects in tablet. Moisten the granules, compress the at the room temperature, use taper dies, and use special takeoff. So fourth one is chipping. Chipping is defined as breaking of tablet edges. There is no cracks. Understood? You can there is no capping, there is no lamination, there is no cracking, but chipping at the edges. So edges is very important. Chipping is defined as breaking of tablet edges. So while tablet leaves the press or the during subsequent handling and coating operations. Causes of this are the sticking on the punch faces, too dry granules, or too much bindings. So machines groove of dies, bare dies, edges of punches face turn into inside and inward. Concavity is too deep to compress properly. Dry the granules properly or increase more lubrication or moisten the granules. Polish to the open ends, polish the dies and polish the punch edges. These are some remedies and we can overcome the problem like chipping. Fifth one is sticking. Tablet material adhered to die wall. So it's very simple. Why it's adhered? Granules too dry, too little or improper lubricants, too much binders are used, too little pressure, so in the pressure during the tablet compression, compressing too fast. Dry the granules, increase or change the lubricants, reduce the amount of binder or reduce the concavities, increase the pressure and reduce the speed of the compression. So these are some remedies of what we can overcome the sticking. Sixth one is picking. Small amount of material from the tablet is stick to and being removed off from the tablet surface by punch faces. So the problem is more prevalent to the upper punches faces than the lower punches. So same problems, excessive moisture in granules, too little or improper lubricant, low melting point substance are used as the excipients in the tablet manufacturing or formulation. Rough or scattered punch faces, pressure applied is not enough. So dry the granules, increase lubrication to dyes and punches, use high melting point materials as lubricants, polish faces, reduce depth and sharpness, and increase the pressure optimum. So optimum pressure is important, otherwise it will cause the tablet disintegration properties or dissolution properties. So binding is nothing but when tablets adhered or size or tear to the dyes. So same insufficient or lubricants, too coarse granules, too hard granules, rough dyes, undersized dyes, size of the tablet is not uniform or optimized, too much pressure in the tablet press. So increase the amount of lubricant, reduce granule size, modify granulation, investigate the other uh, network, rework the proper size and reduce the pressure. So mottling is another defects that is related to the formulation, that is unequal distribution of color on tablets with light and dark spots or unequal distribution of if color is used. So it is improper distributed tablet can be easily observed, and we can see the different colors, concentration of colors in the granules, sorry, tablets. The colored drugs used along with the colorless or white colored excipients. Dye migrates to the surface of granules while drying because of the whatever the moisture or the solvent evaporates, leaving behind the dye, but it concentrates towards the one part of the tablet. So improper the mixed dyes and improper mixing or color binding solutions. Use appropriate colorants. This is one important. Change the solvent system. So mix properly and reduce size and incorporate the dry color uh, additives during proper blending steps. So last is very important. Double impression. The double impression involves the only the those punches which have monograph or other engraving on them. So free rotation of either upper or punch or a lower punch during ejection of tablet using keying in tooling and newer press have anti-turning devices which prevents the punch rotation. So these are some references from where you can see the or you can learn the defects in the tablets. Thank you.